Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So it is the next day from yesterday, and I have to do me a Yugoslavia. Here we go. So, a case for Yugoslavia. With the recent developments, oh man, reading is hard, friends. With recent developments, the Miloš Obrenović government has taken an interest in pursuing the mission of unifying the South Slavic peoples. The prince stands before the people of Serbia to deliver an impassioned speech. It is inevitable that we pursue the foundation and development of a Yugoslavia that unites all South Slavic peoples. Serbia can most certainly lead the effort. Our prince will lead the effort. 11 infamy and claims on every Croatian, Serbian, Slovene, and Bosniak homeland. State region not owned by Serbia, and extra maneuvers but reduced infamy decay for 15 years. Or there is too much disharmony to pursue this plot. Current relations towards between Serbia and Croatia improves by 10. I'm going to pick the first one. Them's the breaks. That's what we're going to be doing. We've got our alliance with Russia. Let's kick it off here. I think it's time. I'm doing it. We're doing it, friends. Now, full disclosure, I have actually never launched one of these unification plays yet. So we're going to see. So primary demand is annex all required states for a country unification not owned by unification supporters, subjects, or allies. And these are the states. So this should be Montenegro, Dalmatia, Croatia, Slavonia. This is Slovenia, which is listed over here. This is Istria. And then this is Vojvodina here. And that, we're going to see how that goes. So, Russia and Germany, unlikely to help us, but not impossible. Great Britain, not going to step in. French Republic, not going to step in. Belgium and Netherlands might step in on our side. Let's do this. Is that 0 baseline infamy for doing this? Holy heck. That's incredible. Alright. I should be able to bring in a whole mess of countries, but we're going to we gotta wait until the thing actually gets going before we do that. I'm gonna need some more commanders here, some more command capacity. This army's probably got enough. This fellow's 57. He'll probably be alright. This guy's 52. Are you good? You're an arrogant pillager and an offensive planner. That's not so bad. Yeah, you're fine. We'll give you a promotion. That should give you sufficient command capacity for all of this. You're at 3. Why are you so much lower in command capacity than this guy? Does arrogant give you a bonus to command capacity? It does. Oh, that's very funny. So this guy is going to get another promotion. That's going to give him a sufficiency of command capacity. I am probably going to finish out this last university and then stop building. Alright, I've got a shortage of opium in the customs union. Let's sort by market price as always, or as I prefer to. And let's go ahead and subvene imports, because we need that for hospitalization. Alright, and we have brought in the necessary supply. 165 opium. Hell yeah. We haven't yet reached our point, so we can't sway countries quite yet. Let's unpause and get going. The enemy's got a lot of battalions, but hopefully I'll be able to bring in a lot of friendly battalions of my own. So, German Empire. What would you like? An obligation would be nice. What war goals are you interested in? Sway with liberate subject. That's an interesting animal. So transfer subject. I don't necessarily want that. Liberate country. Let's see. Conquer state. There are a lot of places you would be interested in going. that having been said, I think they won't do it just for humiliation. Liberate subject. Liberate for Transylvania. You know what? I would be delighted with that. I'm going to go ahead and pause government construction here. Ooh, Switzerland is a subject of the German Empire. Now, that's interesting. Now, let's go ahead and bring in Russia. I'm going to use a call ally CB. I'm extremely confident in my ability to win with Russia and Germany on my side. Now, what about the Netherlands and Belgium? Belgium is a stronger power. War goals, they would go for a regime change. Regime change in Austria, you say? How interesting. What a curious demand. And these would only cause infamy for Belgium. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Let's regime change Hungary. Why not? We'll treat ourselves. Nope, that's not the notification I was thinking it would be. And then finally, Netherlands. War goals: enforce treaty article. Enforce investment rights. Or trade. Let's do trade privileges. Let's not be too extreme here. Alright, Belgium is improving relations. Netherlands is improving relations. All of our enemies have troops, or all of our allies, rather, have troops moving to the frontier. Escalation is ongoing. Oh, it's just started again. So that's very good. Austria is worried. They might back down. They want to steal Bosnia back from me. The Association of Syndicates has been formed by the Empire of Japan. That's exciting. That's really exciting. Cash flow is doing just fine, in fact. But we're not fully mobilized yet. Gosh dang it, this army is mobilizing too many of its special battalions. God damn it. Let's just throw in a few more battalions of infantry. And then we'll do the same for the other army, because they're probably going to be having the same problem. I don't know if equally sized armies is always the right play, but it feels like the right play in this situation. Alright, now probably our allies will be able to take the capital without too much of a problem. Although, these force comparisons are not as buck wild as I might think. We do have a free government reform, but once again, I'm in the government I desire to have at present, so I'm going to simply hold and continue on my way. I'm going to need to move pretty quickly in the south here to take the states that I want to take. Let's go ahead and move our fleet to the central Mediterranean, and we'll get our fella here raiding convoys. And that'll make it harder for Austria to trade. Maybe we'll start our lads here on defense for the time being. Just, you know, while we get our armies mobilized. Low on organization, because of the mobilization issue. That's a shame. Industrialists are mad right now, but hopefully they'll be happier later. Cash flow is poorly. As we get going, I wonder if it would be smart to throw some decrees in to get myself quicker conscription, but I don't think so. They should be attacking because we are holding Bosnia. There's the war. So, okay, so they are pushing on our front. So that's good. That means we can wear down their strength. and start winning. Greece is damaging relations, same as always. All right, we're attacking. All right, but we are winning, so that's good. Oh, it's because this tiny Russian army is pushing forward. Looks like our side is winning battles all along the northern front as well. Force comparison is looking a lot better. Let's put our fellas over to attack. Once again, not using the special attack for now. Our armies are getting larger and larger. Not using the special attack for now because, again, this is territory that will be mine eventually. I'm going to need to build more government sectors. We're going to be in a real hairball cash flow-wise for a bit after we do this. But for now, we should be okay. Second Serbian Army has an organization shortage once again due to this mobilization issue. But we are winning battles on all fronts. Force comparison has actually really, really improved. Cash flow is a little weak. Let's go ahead and hike taxes. I probably should have waited to do that, but that's okay. United States of America is improving relations. Oh, we're losing a battle here. That's a shame. Alright, winning a battle here. Very good. So, Vojvodina, we're at 89% occupation. Slavonia, nothing yet. Croatia, 22%. Montenegro, nothing. Dalmatia, nothing. I think it is probably going to be down to our allies attacking and taking the Austrian capital to get this sorted out. Okay, so, Maghrebi National Awakening. Interesting. So, what percentage occupied is the capital? 71% by German troops. So hopefully, we'll be able to go that way and get whatever we wish. Force comparison here is looking really rock solid. So here's hoping we can move forward fast. I may have been a little too concerned about this, but it never hurts to win a war by a landslide. All right, Moravia has been taken by our allies. We're in possession of. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Where is it? Where is it? Where's the Vojvodina? It's Vojvodina. And then this is Slavonia, which we're fully holding. Croatia, we're fully holding. Beautiful. Still working on getting Dalmatia and Montenegro. It's me or them. Miloš Vojvodic, leader of the petite bourgeoisie, has had enough of compromising with his coalition partners. He has demanded that either his collaborators follow his orders, or the petite bourgeoisie will never approve of their changes. That's what leaders are for, right? I lead, you follow. Sounds rather simple to me. If they wanted to lead, they could have been leaders themselves, but I guess no one thought they could. It's my way or the highway. What a ridiculous thing to say. He becomes less popular and the petite bourgeoisie become weaker. Or, very well, the petite bourgeoisie still be the leading force. Armed forces and Orthodox Church, salty, but he becomes more popular. I'm going to go with the first one. I've got quite a buffer of popularity on the petite bourgeoisie, and I need to keep the armed forces happy because that patriotic fervor is working wonders for me. Denmark. No, Maltese Uprising. I was like, what is Denmark? Isn't that the Danish flag? Isn't that the Danish flag? Oh. Denmark has been German empired. German Empire was like, welcome to the family, son. Wonderful. Alright, now Austria has lost their war support protection. So this should actually be really, really fast. And then I'm going to get my Yugoslavia, and that's going to be great. And I think I will get these as incorporated territory. So, let's go ahead and throw some government capacity into construction. Let's go up to level 2 in most areas here. At least the Slavic majority areas. Got a good amount of government sectors in a lot of these other areas, actually. And what we're going to do is I'm going to throw these at the top of the queue. And I'm going to continue government construction just for a few weeks to get those built. This is, of course, going to cost us a huge pile of cash, but it's gonna be really useful. And if we don't get these as incorporated territories, then we'll need to incorporate them, and that's going to take a bunch of time. Either way, we're going to need the government capacity, so I think it just makes sense to do it that way. We are sinking enemy convoys, which is also nice. Closing in on control of Dalmatia. Montenegro, we're still working on. Gosh, Montenegro has been split in half a long time. Okay, so Transylvania is going to be liberated, and Hungary is going to be regime changed. I don't think there's any other missile. Oh yeah, and then the Dutch are going to get trade privileges from Austria, which is going to be pretty funny. You know what? You get that bread, Netherlands. Of course, Netherlands is sitting here with entire armies not mobilized. Same with the Belgians. So, you know, they're kind of getting something for nothing here, but them's the breaks. All right, we'll halt government construction again, just to save the cash. Not going to completely goof up our... Wow, actually, government construction is not... It's a heckin' expense. Are our armies not on the fronts somehow? What has transpired here? What has happened? That was weird. I'm not sure what caused that. Why are y'all going all the way around that way? Curious. In any case, we should have them capitulated pretty soon. They're at minus 44. If I queue in everything, will they simply say yes? No. They're trying to hold out for like one other thing. Alright, anyway, they'll give up all their demands once they're capitulated, and that'll be nice. So okay, so maybe I over prepared for this war just a little bit. Maybe I wasn't swinging quite so much for the fences as I thought I was. But, you know, them's the breaks. You live and you learn. Maybe I'm wasting a lot of money here, but you know. Look at all these armies coming in from the west like, oh, now that the war's almost over, we'll of course send forces. I'm loving these numbers here. That's very good. How many people have I lost in this war? Let's just see. My side dead 5,000 6,000 and wounded 35,000. Not bad at all. Let's see how the war progresses. It's probably going to progress really well. I'm guessing, and we'll see if I become Yugoslavia immediately upon the completion of the war. I don't. Shortage of ironclads. Alright, let's reset production methods. Okay, let's start by just hitting the button for all the territory we've taken. Alright, those are correct, and then wooden buildings to oh, we got some construction sectors on wooden buildings. Alright, that's fine. Steel frame, very nice. And then I'm gonna let the week end. Austria's embargoing us, sure. We're still technically Serbia here. Let's go one more week. I'm just making sure that we stay Serbia here. Or that we become Yugoslavia. Okay, it looks like we don't automatically. But let's go ahead and hit that button. Hello. Welcome. I am Yugoslavia, the nation of all southern Slavs. And we start with these territories incorporated. Oh, hell yeah. That's beautiful. All right, so we're going to need to build a little bit more government capacity. A lot of these areas are down bad, but not that bad. So let's go ahead and start building a little bit of government admin in these areas. And after that, we'll work on building up the other things we need to build up. But to start, it's government admin. And we're going to start construction again. Brotherhood and unity form the nation of Yugoslavia. Excellent. Here we go. Through the great efforts of Emperor Miloš Obrenović II, Yugoslavia is an established nation, unifying Croatian and other South Slavic peoples. Hungary is claiming a bunch of territories. With the dream of Yugoslavia realized, Emperor Miloš Obrenović stands prepared to lead the nation into a new era of prosperity and prestige. The future of Yugoslavia is bright. Beacon of the Balkans, 15% influence, 15% prestige for 15 years, and Miloš Obrenović gets 25 popularity for 15 years. Hell yeah. We're short on authority for some reason. Let's go ahead and cut our consumption tax on fruit. Cash flow is down bad, but it's going to be better later. We're a little bit short of capacity. Wow, some of these areas are really, really down bad. You know what? We're going to build a few more government admins in locations that are in our core, just to make sure we wind up with the administrative capacity, because these ones are going to take forever. Oh, we got authority back. Wonderful. Tax opium. Alright, so hopefully bureaucracy will build up over time. Cash flow is really rough, actually. Firebreak. Oh, that's nice. Whether through the trust of our people or the truncheons of our soldiers, Yugoslavia has emerged unbroken from the wave of socialist agitation that threatened it. They still saw the pamphlets sometimes, decayed paper corpses, trapped in the gutters, caked in soot and mud, bold red and black ink, abraded by rough stones and rougher footsteps. The police had not bothered to pick them up, viewing them as an affront to their gloves, or perhaps realizing that their fallen remains made for more of a statement than their complete disappearance. A triumph for all of Yugoslavia, 5 legitimacy, 15% loyalists from political movements, reduced political strength of laborers, 2% of upper and middle stratum pops become more loyal, or things will never be the same again. 10% loyalists from political movements instead of 5%, or instead of 15%, no legitimacy, same reduction in the political strength of laborers, increased loyalism from the upper middle strata, but 15% fascist and reactionary movement attraction. I'm simply going to say a triumph for all Yugoslavia. The extra loyalists will be super duper useful. So let's take a quick look at what our... Okay, cash flow is doing a little better. Let's hope it continues to improve. We are building up these universities as well, which I was going to be building for a while. I'm still on high taxation. Cash flow seems a little rough. Obviously, we're not accruing the necessary taxation that we need to have in a lot of these newly conquered areas because they're newly conquered areas. Wait, are some of these not incorporated? They're not. Alright, hold on. I gotta hit this button. These will take 2 years. So interesting. So we don't get all of them as incorporated territories. That's good to know, though. And obviously that means we need more government admin. And we'll put that in our more secure territories. Wow, we sure are building tons. Is this... Wow! Did the investment pool get... Oh, our number of construction sectors basically doubled. I'm like, what is going on here? And it's like, it's the number of construction sectors. That's what happened. Alright. Alright, well the good news is, when we're not building, our cash flow is pretty good. I think we need to reduce the number of construction sectors. Let me see. How many? There were 7 in Dalmatia. Alright, let's bring this down to 1. We'll bring it down to 2. We'll bring Istria down to 2. Slovenia will bring down to 2. And that should be reasonable. I'm still a little bit short. Let's just build one up in Belgrade. We'll build one up in eastern Serbia. We got a lot of institutions running. Cash flow is looking okay now. I think the investment pool may have emptied for some reason at the end of the war. I'm not sure if that's what happened, but I don't know if maybe I was just simply using up all the stuff in there for so long that now it's empty, but I don't think that's the case. In any case, I'm going to leave the private sector to do the building for the moment. Let me see, what are we at? We're at 25. That's not bad. That's not bad in terms of construction. That gives me the capacity to build whatever I wish, basically. Private sector is building stuff. So let's take a quick look at what our market looks like in the new world. Ironclads are very expensive. I don't have the capacity to build them. Opium I need to stop subsidizing the import of because, boy howdy gee willikers, we are importing a lot of it. Yeah, 1/3 of our subventions basically is for opium import. So we'll throw this back to nothing, and we'll see how that affects the market. Well, we're still importing quite a bit of opium. Let's wait a little bit to ensure that our cash flow returns to normal. I don't want to be paying any interest. I am paying something in treaties. What is it? Oh, right. That's for the paper that I'm donating to some other, I think, the Netherlands. Ooh, German Empire going after Belgium. Nope, I'm wrong. This is a Swedish-Haitian war. And Japan's involved. Japan. What's going on with you, brother? How are you, my friend? You're an absolute empire under Emperor Kome. Interesting. And they've achieved the rank of... Holy crap! Empire of Japan. They got their shit together and they've become a proper empire. That's exciting. That's very exciting. So, Transylvania is my neighbor. That's fine. Grease, old buddy, old pal. What's your liberty desire? Oh, that's very good. Oh, I'm very pleased by this. They are damaging relations, but their liberty desire is going down significantly. And that makes me very, very happy. If I'm going to continue with that, I should make sure that my armies are suitably... Oh. Ah, so a bunch of new units have flowed into the second Serbian army. Let's even that out by doing the same with the first Serbian army. And there is human rights. So, let's see. What do I need in order to get the child labor situation better? I could throw this guy into charge of the petite bourgeoisie. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Compulsory primary school away. Oh boy, those industrialists are going to be big mad. Maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll wait on that. No, you know what? We'll do it. If they try to cut the country in half, that will simply be a result of what happens. Now, the first Yugoslavian fleet has a monitor. I just need to scrap that, because I don't have the capacity to build ironclads. And that'll get rid of our supply shortage, and that will be just fine. Now, I was going to even out my armies, so we got a 25, 15, 5 army, so we'll do the same over here. Here we go. 15s, 3, 4, 5, and then 25, so we need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's beautiful. We'll get those building. That'll cost us quite a bit of money, but it'll also make the cash flow doing a little better. Ooh, trade unions are happy. Trade unions are happy. They're increasing our workforce ratio. That's kind of good. Obviously, the industrialists are avoiding taxes, but you know, it is rather in their nature to attempt not to pay taxes. We're above our company. Interesting. Oh, maybe that's why our authorities borked. We have Croatia Orchards, combined Yugoslavian Fishery Company. You know, Croatian orchards. I don't think this company is that great. Extra prestige, that's not great. Combined Yugoslavian Fishery Company, extra convoys and shipyards throughput. Neither of these companies is that good. Time to go. And what about you? I really don't think you're of that much use to me. Plus, keeping our fisheries profitable is just so much work. So let's not worry about that. Got a little extra authority to play with now. Maybe we'll let's cut our consumption tax on opium and put it back on fruit. We're still doing pretty well cash flow wise. So let's take a quick look at tech. We're now producing 94 innovation per day. We captured, let me see, one university in Croatia. Was that the only one? That can't be right. Did none of these areas have universities? Austria, what are you doing, my man? Oh, actually... Hold on. Shipyards. How many of these have we got? We've got them in different areas. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start getting a few of these producing steamships. Not all of them, but a few. And then we're going to swap our fishing methods over to steam trawlers and our ports over to industrial ports. So I don't have steam trains active yet. Then we'll do mass scale trading. And that is going to make things better. Let's take a quick look at the market. Engines have become... not that much. We thought they were going to be really expensive, but they weren't. How are steamers? Steamers are doing just fine. Alright, beautiful. That's excellent. That's incredible. Okay, so let's get some universities built. We need more universities, and we need them bad. Banat, Vojvodina, Slavonia, Dalmatia, Slovenia, and Istria, you all each need at least a level 1 university. We're going to need more paper mills to feed that. The university is ever hungry for paper. So let's take a quick look at what kind of industry is in these areas. Vojvodina has a glassworks, an arms industry, and some logging camps. Got some capacity for oil extraction, which is nice. Banat has an artillery foundry and a vodka manufactory. Oh, that's a regional company headquarters. Got some logging camps, assorted farms. Okay, alright. Croatia, some logging camps and fishing wharves. Got some nice tooling workshops and some textile mills and some paper mills. Alright, so Croatia was a pretty well-developed state. Dalmatia has no industry to speak of. Do they have logging? A little bit. Let's get paper producing here. Slovenia, no industry to speak of. Let's produce paper. And then Istria has some... Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Ooh, a very nice and incredible tooling industry. Let's go ahead and subvene export of tools. And we'll get those way producing, because that's just wonderful. And that'll be nice. Wow. Has it really been, have I really reduced my infamy all the way? That's rad. So, what are we paying in subventions right now? Or no, these are subsidies. Mostly for ports. That's fine. Subsidizing ports is generally the way to go. Subventions, we're mostly subvening export of porcelain, import of sulfur, and what are we subvening for fertilizer? Subvening export significantly. Let's take a quick look at our export industry. At our fertilizer industry, rather. Are we overloaded on fertilizer plants? I think we might be. Oop. A lot of progress to drafting. Wonderful. Got a success first time through. That'll help us out. Yeah, these aren't super productive. We are building a lot of explosives. Yeah, I think largely the difficulty with our economy right now is the fact that we don't produce any of our own sulfur. I say as I scroll through not finding sulfur, where are you? You're here. We do produce our own sulfur. Where are my sulfur mines now? They're in Greece. Oh, how interesting. Alright, let's stop subvening the import of sulfur. And perhaps these sulfur mines will grow in productivity as time goes by. Cash flow is still a little rough. I'm going to throw our construction of these logging camps in Dalmatia up into the interspersal zone with the universities. And I think I'll probably do the same with the paper mills once the logging camps are finished. Ah, delicious water. Ooh, oil. The discovery of oil in Albania is causing people to flock to the state, hoping to find jobs in this booming industry. Gold, silver, diamonds, for what? Trinkets and finery for the gentry. Glamour to hide that their time is past. Listen, my friend, nostalgia may be gilded, but the future runs on oil. Encourage this trend, oil is the future. Extra migration attraction in Albania, extra oil industry mortality, extra oil industry employees, increased oil extractors throughput, reduced oil industry employee standard of living. I don't love that. Progress is best tempered with caution. Half the migration attraction, half the increase to oil extractors throughput and oil industry employees, but no reduction to standard of living, and no increase to mortality. I'm going to go with the second one. Sorry. Before I do this, let's take a look at these others. Always encourage an oil rush wherever it's found, which is the first option will be triggered every time this event comes by. Or caution is always wise no matter the time or place. The second option will be triggered every time this event happens. So this event here shows up every time we get a new state with oil in it. So I'm just going to say caution is always wise, no matter the time or place. And that's my take. Standard of living is way up, which I'm pretty jazzed about, all things considered. Alright, here we go. Logging camps are almost finished. Actually, we're almost done with the universities. Let's go ahead and throw... Oh boy, these are going to take forever. Never mind. We'll put those at the bottom of the queue. We'll be working on them a while. Investment pool is looking pretty good. Private sector is building some coal mines and some steel mills. Let me take a quick look at our economy. Okay, sulfur is increasing in price. But I can deal with that by building up our sulfur mines in Greece. And there's pump jacks, which unlocks automatic irrigation. I am going to fire that right away. Time to irrigate. And if that seems silly to you, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm always going to be privatizing these industries. Well, I progressed to voting. Oh my gosh. We might ace compulsory primary schools. I would be delighted if we aced compulsory primary schools. Where do we have banana plantations? We own a bunch of plantations in other places. That's exciting. That's super duper exciting. I'm so pleased. I am going to subvene the export of silk because clearly we can afford to export this stuff. We're making so much of it. Let me see what else. I'll subvene the export of fabric. Absolutely. Just absolutely. Oil, we're at 0. That's fine with me. Wood, we're just fine. And there's mutual funds. Alright. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. So we'll do land reforms soon. Once we're finished with the compulsory primary schools. Austria is supporting separatism. Well, What separatism would they have to support? I realize I should take a look at... Oh, there's a small number of South German people here in Slovenia. Actually, North Italians are living here. They're very well accepted in our country, though. Yeah, some South Germans in Croatia and in Slavonia. What about Dalmatia? Dalmatia's got some Italians, no South Germans. And then we've got a decent population of Hungarians in both Vojvodina and Banat. But them's the breaks. Let me see. What if I sold to Bruges? Would anyone stop me if I sold to Bruges? Brazil might try, but I have a feeling I can take them. So, we'll do it. I'm feeling extremely comfortable with my capacity at this time. And Bulgarians are, you know, part of our country. I'm not worried. I'm going to simply mobilize one army. Yeah, I have a strong feeling that I'm going to be able to win this without too much of a problem. Bulgaria refused the demands because that's the last bit of their country which exists, but hopefully that should get them to stop supporting separatism among our Bulgarian population, and that'll be just fine. Greece, you old so-and-so, what's going on with you? Are you in a war? You're in a war with the Ottomans. What do the Ottomans want? They want to humiliate you. Well, them's the breaks, I suppose. The Ottomans do love humiliating the Greeks. Come on, 3 for 3. Beautiful! Ace! Ace. Alright, that's lovely. So actually, we have the capacity to increase our education, and that's really, really good. So, I am going to get some more government sectors built, and we'll build them in our new areas. We've still got quite a bit of unemployment in a lot of these parts, and this is going to provide extra jobs, which will improve the standard of living. Croatia's doing just fine. Dalmatia's doing just fine. Slovenia, okay. No, actually, a lot of these places are doing fine. But Istria has some unemployment. So we'll build there. What about Vojvodina? Vojvodina has unemployment. And then Banat surely has unemployment. Yes. Some of these places could also use railways. Golly gee willikers. Are we ever, Boy howdy, am I glad I took over these areas. Some of these places don't even have a railway. People have got to be able to get around. The conditions placed on the South Slavic peoples by the brutal Austrian overlords. Unbelievable. Violence against Hungarian people. Hungarian people are being attacked and killed by some members of the Croatian people in Croatia. A riot broke out, although calling it that is an understatement. They went from house to house, beating, robbing, and even killing whoever they found. Order and morality must be restored. Reduced authority, -5 standard of living for Hungarian to Croatia. Or I'm afraid there's nothing I can do -7 standard of living. Okay, I have to do the first one. I gotta take the authority hit. This isn't even a question. A -5 standard of living modifier is a genocide happening. That's really brutal. Uniting the people and a person. With Yugoslavia united under our rule, dignitaries and dissidents alike from our fractured predecessors have been drawn to our country. Ivan Mikhailovich now seeks to make Yugoslavia his home. He is a Republican aligned with the trade unions, an aesthete and an experienced entrepreneur. What an interesting fellow. My fellow countrymen, through grace and fortune, our nation has been brought together under the auspices of Yugoslavia. Shall we let this unity of spirit lead to a death of thought? No, I say. No. If we seek to truly unite, we must accept that in this great mass of people, there will be an ocean of odd ideas. I know this to be true, for I am one of those odd ideas. So please, my kindred spirits, will you let me in? We welcome him with open arms. He comes here, nationalist hero welcomed, for +2 opinion from a whole slew of interest groups, the armed forces, the trade unions, the industrialists, the petit bourgeoisie, and the landowners. Or we have no reason to invite troublemakers, they all get mad. I'll go with the first one. I'm happy to have my interest groups be happier. Just checking my sound for a second there, making sure that y'all can hear me, because I don't want to put myself in a situation where y'all can't hear me. I'm thinking about taking over Romania as a subject, and then maybe conquering these parts of greatest Romania and incorporating them into Romania. Just a thought. What happened to our engine industry? What's going on over there? Hold on. There's something going on here. They're fully employed. What the heck is... What's with this? Well, curious. Let's queue in some more motor industries. Clearly we need them. We'll build 4 levels in Montenegro. Have we got steel mills running in Montenegro? I should think we do. We do not. Might be good to have a couple levels of steel mills, just to ensure the motor industries function. Ever-increasing influence. Members of the Anti-Ottoman Association have discreetly dispatched one of their number to amplify their mission in Yugoslavia's most widely read newspaper. The Anti-Ottoman Association has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction, a lobbyist comments, there is no denying the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. This approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers to favor our scheme. This sets a bad precedent, petite bourgeoisie salty, or this is ingenious. Reduced legitimacy, Anti-Ottoman Association gets a little happier. I'm just going to go with the first one. I don't want to lose any more legitimacy. I'm running high taxes, which means my government is not as legitimate as it could be. And I got some salty interest groups right here with, what with me having just done compulsory primary school. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what was the other thing I wanted to do? Can go to right to associate. That'll make them even angrier. Okay. And that would get us stronger labor movement, reduced radicals from political movements, and stronger trade unions. I'm definitely thinking about it. What was the other thing I wanted to look at? Was it propertied women? No. I mean, I do want to do that, but I might hold up and wait until I've got the capacity to shoot straight to women's suffrage. What was the other thing I was thinking about? Was it just the right of association? Curious. So curious. I don't remember. This is so weird. I just don't remember. Was I going to Institute Freedom of Assembly? I don't think so. I mean, I do want to do that eventually. Okay, anyway. Let's keep doing what we're doing. We're going after Dalmatia, and that'll be fine. Greece, how are you doing in Liberty Desire? Oh, they're actually allowing us to improve relations. That's wonderful. That's just excellent. I am significantly reducing their Liberty Desire now. And I've got the Marine Kingdom all the way down, so let's go ahead and decrease their autonomy. I'm going to reduce subjectivities. I always do this. And what that's going to do is it's going to give them a pretty solid decrease in Liberty Desire. I'm going to do the same for Greece, and then once that's finished, Greece will be able to will be pretty firmly under our thumb, and I might pass Thessaly over to them, because Thessaly is really it's a Greek majority area. Macedonia is a little bit more diverse, but both of these areas, there's a good argument that they're Greek areas. Well, again, the Greeks are treated quite well in our country. But you know, just some thoughts. Oh my goodness, a Romanian uprising in Transylvania. Is Transylvania a majority Hungarian country? Secular, Hungarian, and South German. Oh, interesting. Interesting. The engines of progress. The manufacture of steam engines has become a profitable industry in western Serbia, thanks to our sound investment in locomotive technology. These engines are already being employed across Yugoslavian railway lines. All aboard for Pristina, courtesy of the good folks at the Belgrade Steam Locomotive Company. Getting out of Belgrade has never been easier. The dining cart is restricted to first-class passengers only. Stowaways will be prosecuted. All aboard. Extra railway building throughput. More engines, more locomotives, extra motor industries throughput, or we're on track for innovation, extra progress on steel railway cars. Have we got any spread of steel railway cars yet? No. I'm going to take that progress. Steel railway cars is really good. Now this situation. Oh, I can't support the rebels because I've got a truce with them. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll see what happens. You know, maybe the rebels will get lucky and they'll take the capital. And Dobruja is finally conquered. Let's get incorporating. Oh, right. I was going to start increasing education. I need 175 for each level, and that means I need a little bit more education built up. But Dobruja is a good place to build up a little bit of taxation capacity. That's going to take a long time. Never mind, it's not a good place. We'll build up somewhere else first. Let's build up Dalmatia. Dalmatia is reasonably... No. Hold on. Which one of these was, like, highly profitable? Guarantee independence in the Swedish-Yugoslavian Treaty of Transit and Commerce invalidated. Interesting. Istria. It was Istria that was pretty high population. And that's going to build in 7 weeks, and that's going to be just fine. We're pretty low on construction efficiency over here, actually, but... why is that? Are we experiencing a lot of obstinance? Nope, just recently conquered areas. Not bad, not bad. So cash flow is going to be better later, but them's the brakes. We can't put the brakes on the engines of progress, as the game loves to say. I'll be watching this war with interest. So Romania. 24 infamy to make them a protectorate. Let's wait. I'm interested. I'm very interested. Ooh, Tunisian uprising in Great Britain. Nice. In British North Africa. Ooh, Je ne colle. Oh, that's very, very good. That is a military method for our naval bases. That's going to make them more efficient. So. Oh. One of our armies is goofy. 25, 15, 5. It's 29, 55. Ah, yes. Alright, so... yeah, that's fine. We'll throw in one more battalion of infantry, and then in the other army... wait, was that wise? No. I need to reduce the number of lancers first. Right, then... one more unit of infantry, and then our other army. I don't know if it's sensible for me to be going... these should all have the same number of units, number and type of units, but it's what I've chosen to do. Yeah, Dobruja's down extremely bad. What's going on over here? You've got bad turmoil. Got bad turmoil because of local organizing efforts, violent confrontations. Oh, they were in a population shortage death spiral. That's why. Whistle stop tour. Oh, we're in an election. Nice. Nikola Paskas intends to travel across Slavonia by train to campaign for the Radical Party. All I intend to do is present myself to the people. I'm just a simple man trying to get our party's message out by the best means available. Campaigning by rail is a smart move, extra momentum, reduced railway throughput in Slavonia, or the fate of the nation depends on that train running on time. Significantly increased momentum, more efficient railways. I'm going with that second one. Let's let a week go by, and then we'll take a look at how the election's running. We have a lot of people below. Oh, right, because I'm still on high taxation. Let's drop taxation back to Midland. And then we'll take a look at this election. It looks like the Liberal Party is going to snag a huge majority. That's exciting. The Liberal Party is the petite bourgeoisie and the trade unions. How curious. Based. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. Radical Party is pretty low on momentum. Conservative Party is completely bottomed out. Right, because they don't have any members anymore. That's very cool. All right, we're gonna have an interesting government here. Production and agitation. In collaboration with the Free Trade Party, Ivan Mihailovich has secured a deal for cheap and quickly distributed pamphlets in support of the party. The interior of the carriage held a pleasant surprise, a crate of several thousand pamphlets printed on an industrial scale, each with instructions in the voting process and a cheaply copied logo of the Free Trade Party. They made a hefty weight, and he hoped would turn out to be an equally sized benefit. Bury our opponents in a sea of paper, extra momentum for the Free Trade Party, or these connections can be used later, half the momentum, but he becomes ambitious. I'll go with the second one. I don't want to throw momentum by way of the Free Trade Party. The Liberal Party are going to clinch it, and they might be able to form a government all by themselves, and that would be really, really nice if I could do that, because then I could simply have the petite bourgeoisie just kind of in charge of the country. I could bring the intelligentsia and the trade unions in here as well, and that would be a really rock solid situation. Obviously now my cash flow is kind of Robert Borked, but paying quite a bit in interest. Although it's not that much with an economy of my size these days. It's just because my economy is, you know what? This government sector in Dobruja, it's not sensible. We'll build one in Slovenia instead. And then we'll get our education up to level 5. And that'll be nice. And we'll have a little bit of capacity left over afterward. Dobruja, we're going to need to do a lot of work here. Turmoil is very, very high. As the place gets incorporated, things will be better, but for now, they're a little bit rough. We've got our other home states fully incorporated. God's will. Dragutin Gruzic of the Orthodox Church, I almost said Catholic Church, that's not the religion we're doing, has been seen preaching in favor of the Conservative Party, convinced that their victory has been foreseen in God's plans. Do you think that God would not have a plan for our pious nation? Of course there's a plan. There must always be a plan. I've seen it myself, let me tell you, and I've seen it as clear as I see you all right now, just before my eyes. And who else to lead this adrift government other than those who can clearly read that plan? And who are we to stand against God's will? Stronger Orthodox Church. Such a shame the nation is not ruled by God then. He loses popularity. Or but surely God wants the Free Trade Party to win. Extra momentum for the Free Trade Party. I'm just going to go with the middle one. You can lose some popularity. That's fine with me. Ooh. I remembered what I was thinking of, and it was of abandoning monarchy. This will make the landowners extremely, extremely sad. But I think from a role-playing perspective, I don't actually want to do that, and here's why. Our country has become strong as a monarchy. We have become a world power, a great power, as a monarchy. We've become a power exceeding the strength of the Netherlands, Spain, Brazil, Sweden, as a monarchy. And so why would we start doing something else? We're closing in on the position of Belgium. If we can continue to build up, we'll be stronger than Austria soon. And that is a good basis for a government. Ooh, lost the head of the intelligentsia. They now have a radical. It doesn't change what they're going to do. The Slovenia crop failure. The state of Slovenia has been struck by a blight. Crops are dying left and right, and the harvest is sure to be less than expected this year. We noticed some crops dying a few weeks ago, but we didn't think anything of it. We always lose a few. We didn't expect this. Well, this is going to affect the harvest. Reduce agriculture and plantation throughput by 60% for 5 years. Or we'll help how we can. 8.3k in government expenses for 2 years. 15% extra welfare payments in Slovenia, but reduce the agriculture throughput penalty to 30%. I'm definitely going to do the second one. If the government can't help out the people, then what good is it? Excuse me. Ottoman Empire, why do we have a front? Oh, that's a fake front. It's a pretend front. They're just pretending we have a front. It's not a real front. Oh gosh, I'm so thirsty. I'm actually not that thirsty, but... Ooh. What? Central Europe. Nation formation. Cultures: North German, South German, Czech, Dutch, Flemish, Walloon, Alemannic, North Italian, and Slovene. Oh my goodness. What an unreasonable goal to set for a run starting as Serbia. How could... What? Oh, because we have Slovene as a primary culture. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that with my thinking brain and come back to it. I'm probably not going to do it right now. But, you know, maybe in the future. Maybe. Alright, so the Liberal Party has taken the election. So let's reshape the... Wow. I really can't get much of a legitimate government. Well, anyway, let's have a coalition of the liberals and the radicals, I guess. And we'll continue pissing off the free traders. Orthodox Church have fallen out of being represented. That's fine. We do have the ability to go to universal suffrage. Petite bourgeoisie would not like that, though. Really? You guys like census suffrage more than... Yeah, they really do. Interesting. That's curious. I feel like that either didn't used to be there or used to be different. I think reactionary used to have a different thing as part of it. Excuse me, a different distro power as part of it. Alright, well this is curious. Wow, we got some stonk trade unions. You know what? Commence the right to associate. Power up the trade union cannon. Fire. Ooh, Magilio uprising. I don't rightly know what that means. Primary culture, Russian. Vanguard state. Maybe this is an event. Leonid Alexiev. He's not an historical character. I don't know who that is. Quite curious. Quite curious. Secession in Belarus. Hey! Romania! Excellent. You got a hold of southern Transylvania. Wonderful. That's going to make our lives a lot easier. Once you're my subject. Education's at level 4. Booyah! And Greece is still fighting. Soon they will be a puppet and all will be well. I've got some influence to play with. Austria is conciliatory. I'm no longer supporting rebellion there. Let's repair our relations with the rest of Europe at this time. There's ironclads. Wonderful. Let's get our primary fleet back to Yugoslav waters, and we will go ahead and upgrade our man-o-wars. But before we do that, let's get some of our military shipyards producing steel-hulled ships, because that's how it's going to go. And now that that's happening, we'll have a market for man-o-wars, for ironclads, and that'll allow us to produce ironclads, and that'll be just fine. Set this fella back to interception. We're a little bit short on authority, but I'm not too worried about that. We're taking a lot of loans. So from here on out, we're still not making the kind of money in some of these areas that we would like to be, due to a little bit of obstinance. Alright, so who's causing obstinance right now? The Greek national movement? The Turkish national movement. Tragic. You hate to see it. Are a little bit short on ironclads right now. Where are they? Let me filter. I produced in 22. Okay, let's put an import tariff in here. Let's not be ridiculous here. Now, Montenegro, why can't you hire? Grow, I say. You're worth it. You deserve to produce ironclads. A doctrine of iron and steam. The introduction of vessels with metal-skinned hulls represents nothing less than a revolution in naval warfare. Near impervious to traditional types of shot, Admiral Zivojin Petrovic assures us that Yugoslavian dominion of the seas will be absolute. Hell yeah. While wooden ships with iron men might beat iron ships with wooden men, it sure doesn't hurt to have the armor on our side. This will make our line of battle invincible, extra Navy defense. Metal bows, metal rams, what could go wrong? Reduced Navy defense, extreme increase to Navy offense. Or Yugoslavia rules the waves, extra prestige from Navy power projection. I'm going to go with defense. Winning wars is still more important. Just quickly check. Hungarian is a Magyar. Has the primary culture. Okay, here we go. The Turkish national movement is threatening to secede. Not great. Let's do some management here. So we're suppressing them a little bit. Their support is very, very low. They have a good chance of taking quite a few states. Not ideal. I don't really know what to do about this. Other than simply to tolerate a revolution periodically. Progress to voting. Wonderful. Our associate is moving on at a good clip. We might ace this. This isn't... I haven't hacked this or anything, by the way. Wow, Turkish national movement is going way, way up. That's not ideal. Official translations. The government has received requests from the Turkish to provide translations of some official documents to their language. When you speak of the Turkish as uneducated, you are seemingly referring to those who do not speak two language, but only one, like you. It is important that these documents are accessible to all. Bureaucracy penalty, but 5% of Turkish pops become more loyal, or they should learn the official language, they become more radical. I'm actually going to hit the first one. That's going to create a problem for my government capacity, but I can solve that by simply spending a little bit more cash on it. I don't want to put myself in a situation where where I'm over my, I don't want to, I want to reduce the strength of this movement, and making its pops more loyal is going to be more effective. See that? Activism is predicted to shift towards militant. Basic acceptance is violent hostility, them's the breaks. Turkish standard of living compared to the average in the country. 7% from support separatism. 11% from the fervor of Turkish culture, minus 6% from Yugoslavia. That's from my home affairs. So maybe a way to solve this is to snag identification documents. Yeah, let's grab identification documents, and then we'll circle back to our other stuff here. Hand crank machine gun, military statistics. And then maybe we clear out the rest of Tier 3 in military, and then snap... No, I can't do that. I have to get at least steel railway cars. I've got to get ahead in production. Then I'll circle back to military and snag monitor, self-propelled torpedoes, and we'll do... See, wargaming is 10% offense bonus. War propaganda is nothing great. Well, reduced 5% reduced morale loss is pretty good. But I think the one we primarily want is trench works. After that, it's back to production, because we got to close out Tier 3. And then we're going to need to snag telephone to radio. That's going to allow us to stay ahead. Militarily. These should have... Ooh, the standard of living modifier is going up. I wonder if we can... A lot of the country would prefer cultural solution. Why don't we go there after right to associate? That's what we'll do. We'll maintain our traditions in other ways. Because cultural exclusion will at least reduce the strength of this movement pretty significantly. And that'll make things more bearable for our Turkish pops. Discord within the trade unions. An influential faction within the trade unions has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of right to associate. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you all stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, their bill shall pass, weaker trade unions, extra enactment chance, or the petite bourgeoisie extend an open hand to these mavericks. Less enactment chance, but some of the fight goes to the petite bourgeoisie. I'm going to... Well, it'll make the trade unions significantly weaker, petite bourgeoisie stronger. I'm just going to go with their support, the bill shall pass. I've got a deadline here in the form of the Turkish secessionist movement, which is becoming more hostile as time goes by. Harvest condition. No end in sight to moderate rainfall. Cool. Them's the breaks. How's our cash flow? Cash flow is doing well. Economy continues to increase in size. Population is doing good. Standard of living is alright. A fort in a sea of anger. Mobs have surrounded an arsenal in Macedonia, threatening to seize the arms and munitions stored within. While the guards are staving off attacks for now, if no relief is sent, the arsenal will fall to the insurrectionists. I couldn't sleep last night. The commander refuses to accept terms, and firing continues from both the arsenal and the emplacements that now surround it. After one particularly loud blast, I sprung out of bed and went onto my knees to pray. Pray as I've never prayed before. Delicious water. A relief column could escalate tensions a little, but it's necessary. Or the mob can be emboldened by a surrender, but we need to take the risk. So, both of these have equal chances of increasing or decreasing secession progress. So I'm choosing between 5% of servicemen pops become more radical, or 5% of officers. I'm going to pick officers. Hey, secession went down a little bit. Not that that really affects things, because they're going to max out at 77%. I've got a little bit of time, but I've got to finish right of association. Anyway, right of association is going to significantly strengthen the trade unions, and that's going to make things easier for them. That's going to compensate for the loss of members to the petite bourgeoisie. So, I think I'm going to do a pass to look at trade capacity and make sure that I've got the trade capacity that I want to have everywhere. Well, some of these places don't have trade capacity at all. That's unfortunate. But, you know, we'll just need to build them up. Right, very good. Wow, it's been a while since I did a pass for trade capacity, huh? Some of these areas are quite, have not yet developed any trade capacity. So I should. I'm glad I'm doing that. I'm glad I remembered to do that. So smart and good at video games. Well, would you look at that? They fell in activism. Nice. Even so, I think maybe cultural exclusion is the way to go. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Greece, you still at war? They are. Nobody can win. Everyone's spending money. It's good for the economy, I guess? Ooh, little shortage of bureaucracy. Not to worry. I think I'll build up a little bit more bureaucracy in the capital. Union-free stall event. Threatened by the strengthening of workers' associations under the right to associate, the industrialists have publicized numerous reports on the dangers of a unionized workforce. Is union life for me? Dues deducted from your wages. No guarantees on pay, benefits, or work rules. No chance for individual negotiation. Your company provides your job and pays your wages. The union never has and never will. They must be terrified. Reduced enactment success chance. Salty industrialists. Or everyone has the right to proceed their interests, minus 20% enactment success chance. I'm just going to go with the first one. We've still got a 33% success chance. Acing 2 law changes in a row was never in the cards. Spain is going after Aita which is a country again. Curious. And there's a positivist revolt happening in Corsica. That's fun. Enjoy that. If you're not seeing anything on the screen, it's because I'm throwing my water bottle. Ah, there's Salty again. Gosh dang. I mean, I knew the risks when I took all this Turkish territory. I went in sight for heat wave. Ugh. I got a heat wave. It's too dang hot. It's too dang hot in the country. And Itabas backs down. Whatever Spain was asking for them for. And education is up to level 5. That's wonderful. Huh. What were they having a thing about? Maybe it was a regime change or something? Curious. Don't know what to make of that. We are continuing to suppress the Turkish national movement. Engines are expensive, and we can support more declared interests. That's right. That's right. We got a lot of interests we can support. Interesting. Where do I want to do stuff? Let's do stuff in Southeast Asia, Oceania, perhaps Persia, the Caucasus, Dnieper. Let's cover the rest of Europe, shall we? We'll do the Rhine, but not France. Backroom dealings exposed. A stall event. Corporatism is unlocked. Excellent. Prominent members of the petite bourgeoisie, outspoken supporters of the right to associate, and close allies of Pantelia Mihailovich have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. One aide was all it took, one boy squeezing acne from his face in the right place at the right time to overhear their howling laughter, smell the rich tobacco blend, and spot Pantelia Mihailovich's new golden cufflinks. One honest fellow's word to the right ears, and it was all uncovered. So, such is the nature of politics, minus 15% enactment success chance. Throw them to the wolves. We must clean up this. And Mihailovich loses a bunch of popularity. He's the head of the petite bourgeoisie. Throw them to the wolves. We must clean up this mess, reduce bureaucracy, reduce enactment success chance, but not as much. Or we can derive some benefit from participating ourselves. Slightly reduce bureaucracy, reduce enactment time, but one setback. I'm going to pick the middle one. And puts us at 23%. Taking setbacks is often a mistake, in my experience. We are still paying interest, so I'm still not building stuff up with the government budget for now. Obviously, now we're a little bit more short of bureaucracy, but we'll build a little bit more bureaucracy to deal with that, and that'll be fine. Let's take a look at the motor industries. Motor industries are productive. We got some in Kosovo. Let's build those up. I say as I I'm getting a lot of new friends. When you have a hammer, General Miodrag Rasic noted severe unrest in South Serbia, has proposed using the army to suppress agitation in the area. While his political allies support him, there is a heavy risk to following his plan. It's simple. We have an army, there is the enemy. Let me deploy my men and do what is needed, and the enemy shall be vanquished. That is all there is to it. Reprimand the general and reject the plan. He's demoted to lieutenant general. Trade unions are made unhappy. Interesting. Or we must use the tools we have to solve the problems we have. 33% chance of progress towards secession minus 5%. 66% chance plus 5%. I'm going to do the second one. It actually went down, which is a little bit of a shock. We're still at militant. And we're still bashing away at the right to associate. 23%. Couldn't hurt too much. I've gotten water on the table through water container sweat, and now it's under my mouse. Now you know more about my setup than you ever wanted to. Just wipe up here a little bit. It's just condensation. Greek invasion. What does this mean? Oh, that's right, because the Ottomans and the Greeks are in a war that are in a forever war. A forever war, that's the word. We're at 82 fervor and going up to 97. We could easily go to for Serbia in our primary culture. We've also got, oh, by the way, sorry, the thing that Yugoslavia does, forming Yugoslavia, is it makes Bulgarian, Croatian, Slovene, and Bosniak our primary cultures. And we were able to get Bulgarian as well because we're holding a bunch of Bulgarian territory. Which means the Bulgarians are very, very well accepted in our country. That's pretty cool. I read somewhere that you could only get Bulgarian as a primary culture if you started as Bulgaria, but I think the fact that we were holding a bunch of Bulgarian territory, they were like, we'll let the cat have it. Intolerable Strife, a debate event. A book detailing the horrific conditions that industrial laborers are routinely subjected to has become an overnight success. The success of the book has raised public interest in the right to associate whilst embarrassing the industrialists. Thus, the social order makes family life almost impossible for the worker. In a comfortless, filthy home, hardly good enough for a mere nightly shelter, ill-furnished, often neither rain-tight nor warm, a foul atmosphere filling rooms overcrowded with human beings, no domestic comfort is possible. The husband works the whole day through, perhaps the wife also, and the elder children, all in different places. They meet night and morning only, all under perpetual temptation to drink. What family life is possible under such conditions? The workers should be able to advocate for themselves, extra enactment chance, salty industrialists, or we must not further upset the owners. 5% of capitalists and 2% of shopkeepers in the whole country become more loyal. Well, that's interesting, but I'm going to go with the enactment success chance. I got to get this done. I got to get this done because the only way to stop up the Turkish national movement is to go for cultural. Oh, they don't care about that. They might not care about that. Let me look at the pluralist ideology here. I can't see it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Albanian national awakening. Wonderful. Filing cabinets. The use of filing cabinets in the government administration has drastically increased the effectiveness of state bureaucracy. The future isn't in flying like a bird, nor in roaring along in a train. No, the future is in filing. I love bureaucracy. 5% bureaucracy. Or store information about our citizens. Extra progress on ID documents. I'm going to go with the extra progress on ID documents. That's going to put that at almost finished. And then we can get a little bit more internal affairs. And that'll help us deal with the Turkish national movement as well. That's the alternate solution to this problem. We got 3 more months for ID documents. Yeah. Laugh it up. Secessionists protest. Proponents of the Turkish secession movement have gathered for a public protest. As the crowd began to gather, attention seemed apparent among onlookers and passers-by, more than that which would usually be expected at the site of a political rally. Perhaps the agenda of national independence stirred up thoughts about civil war, or perhaps, more likely, it was simply the unfamiliar feeling of finding themselves outnumbered even momentarily by Turkish people. Not an unfamiliar feeling, guy. We've been taken over by the Turks many times. Break it up. Reduce secession progress by 10%. Reduce authority by 10% for 5 years, or let them be heard. Extra pop attraction. I gotta spend the authority. It hurts, but I gotta do it. I can't afford to have this movement be any stronger than it currently is. Hey, we got improved fertilizer. Wonderful. So, let's go ahead and snag our farms, get them producing, using more fertilizer, and then grab our fertilizer plants and have them producing the better fertilizer. And that would be nice. We'll look at the impact on the market in a little bit. Why am I suddenly really short on bureaucracy? I don't like that. I've experienced a change in my government. Our man the Reformer has died. That's what happened. Our man the Reformer has died. And now, this is on pause. In part because we don't have a legitimate government. Okay, so, quick thing. Can I get myself a reformer of the petite bourgeoisie background to replace him? That's really my first question. And yet Susan B. Anthony, she's a feminist. That doesn't help me. Land reformer, not what I was hoping for. Okay, so currently, the only people who care about this are the trade unions. I push the Radical Party out, that does not help. If I form the Radical Party together with the Free Trade Party, that creates a whole different problem. Wow, I'm really fucked here. I'm going to need to abandon, because if I pull these guys into the government, the only way I have to form a legitimate government is to pull these guys in, and if I do that, then what's going to happen is I'm going to lose. They're just going to be able to stall it out completely because they're going to be running the place. Urgh. Well, unfortunately, I think the right to associate is just fucked. So let's go ahead and reform. Vote with this government. We have a 5% chance to get a yes. We'll see how things go. The Voice of the Nation, a group of respectable musical composers teaching at the Arts Academy in Western Serbia, have approached us. They've drawn attention to the alarming lack of a proper national anthem fit to invigorate our people's spirits. Land of riches, land of silver, glory is ours to deliver. We'll punish those Austrians who betrayed, with power and reason's aid. That's a cool anthem. 20 prestige. Need more sulfur. Oh, and I can't get it here because the Ottomans Curse the Ottoman! Well, anyway, this war will be done soon. I am gonna let this. I'm gonna let it go for another 5 days. I've only got 5% success chance. How much of the state have you got in control? Okay, they're firmly in control of the state. Gifts among friends. An internal investigation has discovered that a government official received many gifts from Nikola Paskas on behalf of the Anti-Ottoman Association. The official leading the investigation details his findings. Does Nikola Paskas have no integrity? Among the gifts sent, the following was found. Half a dozen parcels of cloth, a carving knife, a pocket knife, 5 pairs of gloves, 23 barrels of salt, and a dozen bottles of Yugoslavia's finest colonial water. Is this not bribery in support of the Anti-Ottoman Association's cause? The Anti-Ottoman Association has done nothing suspect. 5% of armed forces perhaps become more loyalist. Or perhaps the leader should step down. Nikola Paskas resigns from the armed forces. Plus 5 legitimacy. I'll do the second one. And we'll see what becomes of the armed forces. They're still in the Radical Party. And grouping up with... also not including things. In the government. Pulling them into the government would not help. Alright. Greece has... given up the war. Sulfur mines are not big enough. Let's do 3 levels. Sulfur, I think, is expensive in the market. We have cars in our market in 1891? Golly gee willikers. Law stalled. Alright, legislative failures. Off of the fire. Oh, it just failed out. Alright, right, because we have a baseline of 0%. Alright, so, any other law changes? We could go to a republic, but no one would like that. Corporate state, intelligentsia, and trade unions would like that, weirdly enough. Okay, so... Right, I was gonna go to commercialized agriculture. Let's do it. Yeah, no way to go to cultural exclusion. Alright. That's fine. I could establish a new company. Yugoslav Steel is losing prosperity, which I don't love. Right, and I'm short on heckin' bureaucracy, because the petit bourgeoisie... Well, the petit bourgeoisie are going to be happy again in a second. There we go. Perfect. Got it. Everyone loves commercialized agriculture, except for... the landowners? No. Who? The rural folk. Where's all this stall coming from? The stall's coming from the liberal movement. Interesting. Hi, Zanzibar Yugoslavian Treaty of Transit and Commerce. Investment rights for 10 fine art. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you, sir. So I need to improve standard of living, I think is a key takeaway here. I got some time modifiers to authority. I got a decent amount of loyalists. Commercialized agriculture is going to help, I've decided. French Republic sides with Tunisia over something. Ah, the French are going to fight the Germans. Interesting. The Germans are going for a protectorate on Tunisia. And the French are protecting them. So, both sides have some interesting things. War goals, but only enforce treaty articles. Only enforce military access. Yeah, that's of absolutely zero use to me. Germany. War goals. A bunch of options. Transfer subject. Ooh. Steal a subject from France. That'd be fun. I could steal Sind. Relations with France are pretty good at present. Would a conquer state war goal be of any use? Not really. Revoke claim, but not in anywhere that matters to me. Be pretty cool if I could steal Sind. Maybe we'll do it. Cash flow's a little rough, though. Nah, I don't want to get involved in a war between majors. My economy is still a little bit precarious. And, you know, my country's got a secessionist movement happening. Alright, ID documents is ready to go. Let's go ahead and... let me just take a quick look. Is there anywhere that I'm having a shortage of taxation due to low taxation capacity? Doesn't seem so. Still mostly full employment in the capital. I got some peasants in eastern Serbia. That's... wait. I got it. There gotta be places. Okay, alright. Vojvodina, you're getting some more government admin. Slovenia, you're getting some more government admin. I don't know if it's going to take 4, but again, nice to have a little bit of a buffer. Because I am going to get myself some delicious, a delicious level 3 Home Affairs institution. That's going to be just fine. As always, the secession movement is kind of falling out here. But hopefully a little bit stronger Home Affairs will sort it out. Wow. Yeah, I think the German Empire is going to win this one, TBH back. Maybe now I can steal Corsica. Alright. That should do us. 194. Nearly there. Just one more day should be fine. Diplomatic ties with Venezuela. Oh boy, they're at each other's throats over there. They're adding war goals left and right. Oh boy. Yeah. Germany's going for a big win against France. Germany might become a problem. Picturesque community now surreal. Stall event. An academic known for isolationist views has released an article condemning commercialized agriculture. The article states that it would ruin the rural idyll. With no fields of their own to work, our working men will cease being men. They will be replaced by the groan of the machine, the racket of the engine, and the ceaseless, choking fog that permeates a factory district. The quiet life chased away by the endless march of urbanization. Stay the course. Salty landowners and rural folk reduced enactment chance. Or time to open a fresh barrel of ink. Significantly reduced enactment success chance, but smaller penalties to opinion. I'll take the opinion hits, frankly. Landowners have very little use to me. They're only not marginalized because... Greece, are you serious? You just gotta... oh, this is a war with Egypt. Greece, you need to stop fighting wars, my guy. Greece, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to conquer Adana. Greece, why on earth are you trying to conquer Adana? You have no business conquering Adana. Greece, when your war is through, I'm going to turn you into a puppet. That's what's gonna happen. Fucking evil wizard-ass threat. Greece, you're gonna be a puppet. You're gonna be a puppet. Oh, it's an obligation. I don't want to owe you an obligation. Also, I don't want you to owe me an obligation. Also, I don't want frickin' you shouldn't have Adana. You're just going to cause yourself problems. Let me see. Persia is going after Kunduz. Oh wow, Persia's really expanding into Afghanistan, huh? Afghanistan got formed, but they're a subject to the Russians. Very interesting. I mean, I do have territorial ambitions. I've got a ton of convoys. Maybe I don't need to, maybe I don't need to, be subsidizing ports as much as I currently am. That'll help with my cash flow, surely. Not that much, actually. Yeah, we're fine. Let's do another pass for trade capacity and see where we are with that. I'm going to build a little bit more trade capacity. They're trying to revolt again. Here, we're good here. We're just fine here. Good, good. One more. One more. We'll do 2 in Western Serbia. We're good in Eastern Serbia. Montenegro. 2 more levels. I have to remember that these ones always start moving around whenever I start building a thing. Kosovo. Fine. Albania. Oh, we can use another level. South Serbia. 2 levels should suffice. Macedonia, they're fine. Thessaly, they're good to go. Western Thrace, 2 levels. Northern Thrace, they're fine. Bulgaria, they're good to go. And Dobruja, they don't have any yet. I'm going to build 2 straight away. How are things going in Dobruja? Still pretty heavy turmoil. We got a lot of law enforcement institutions, so hopefully that'll help things out with that. Now, I gotta have ambitions. Maybe I'll go for Zanzibar. Maybe I'll go for Zanzibar and grab... We too. There's a country in here. Exciting. Exciting and fun. Can I make Zulu a protectorate? Gaza would try to stop me. Zanzibar would try to stop me. Mazartine would try to stop me. Transvaal would try to stop me. Ah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's fight. This is a war I can definitely win. Popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding commercialized agriculture, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the petite bourgeoisie, has staged a widely acclaimed play, whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Commercialized agriculture will be on everyone's lips now, 10% enactment success chance. Sure puts the petite bourgeoisie in a good light, increased pop attraction for the petite bourgeoisie, or let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience, extra prestige. I'm going to go with the first one. That'll be just fine. When's my next election? When am I going to have an election? Don't freeze, Victoria 3. Okay. It did as I asked. Oh, it's loading the freaking agitator interface, that's why. Let me see. 93. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Next year. Next year's when it happens. Then we'll see if we can have a functioning party structure. Germany is going after Zulu. No, Yugoslavia. I mistook my flag for the German flag. Like a goof. Like a fool. That's kind of funny, actually. Maybe I should make a small army just for getting up to adventures abroad. Oh my goodness. An Egyptian liberal revolt. Oh my gosh, you know what this means. The Greeks are going to win this thing. The Greeks are going to win their thing, and I'm going to feel like a fool. Neither of these sides would like to have me with them. Oh my gosh. Greece, Greece, are you bonkers? Ah, hilarious. I can decrease their autonomy. So, get your autonomy decreased. Reduce subject payments, same as I always do. And now they'll stop starting wars. Gosh, dang it. Yep, Liberty Desire going down at a pretty healthy clip. Theodore Roosevelt has been exiled from the United States of America. What a strange situation. A reformer. What will the USA exile a reformer for? Oh, they're doing dictatorship. John Pierpont Morgan. Interesting. I think he's the head. Yeah, J.P. Morgan. That's J.P. Morgan. That's your boy, J.P. Morgan. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So they're still basically operating a southern planter state. Well, they're mostly up to industrialists now. Curious. They're doing autocracy, presidential republic, legacy slavery still, local police force. Damn. USA, you're all over the place. I need to get the investment. I need to form a company. I need another company. That's what I need. That's what'll make me happy. Formation speed would be nice. Convoys, Navy defense, Navy offense. Let's do these guys. Basma tobacco. That'll make my industrial sappy and strong. Yeah, I think that's right. Ooh, but extra infrastructure. No, we're doing. Well, but these tobacco plants are really hard to keep profitable in the late game. I wish I could see what other. Okay, you can do trade and opium plantations. That's not bad. You know what? We're gonna do the loyalists from political movements, people. I know it's boring, but them's the breaks. You gotta have them. How is the market? Are we down bad in the steel department? Ooh, we're having a clippers shortage. And you know what this means. This means... Don't know how that happened. That some of our shipyards can start making reinforced wooden ships. Excellent. Now, how's our diplomatic play going? All right, so no one has stepped in to help our enemies. So it's time to mobilize a force. We'll take the fleet. We'll put them in the area. I should have staged an army. That would have been smart, but I didn't. It'll take a while for them to get there, and that's fine. Come on, give me Germany. How could you? We're friends. Alright, let's go ahead and get our invasion started. Grassroots support for law. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for commercialized agriculture has spread like wildfire across Yugoslavia, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform, extra-enacted success chance, stronger landowners, or use this common ground to calm the masses. 20% of lower sternum pops in northern Thrace become more loyalists. Now that's actually tempting, because we have a pretty high proportion of radicals down here, and this could hamstring the Turkish movement. I'm going to use the common ground to calm the masses, actually. I don't want stronger landowners, but more importantly, maybe this will weaken the Turkish secession movement, and that'll be good for me. You know, the increase in the strength of the Home Affairs institution does not seem to be affecting things. Failed naval invasion. Admiral died. Well, that's a shame. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's get this petite bourgeoisie guy in here. Do I want a second guy? No, that's fine. He can get a promotion. Alright, let's try that again. Why are you going back? You yella? You cowards? Stop it. The mob approaches. Belligerent crowds have been getting increasingly provocative when confronted by troops in South Serbia. Hardliners in government are demanding tougher responses, while doves are calling for troops to stand down as the first hopeful step in de-escalation. Gotta hydrate. A whiff of grape shot saved the day once, and it can be done again. I'm telling you, we need to show strength right now. Strength? Ha! Bullets are an admission of weakness. We need to talk, show them we're not afraid. That's how we'll get them. Disperse the crowds by force, 50% chance of radicalizing pops, but 50% chance of reducing the secession progress. Or order the troops to stand down, 50% chance of loyalizing pops, 50% chance of increasing the secession progress. I'm going to go with the second one. It didn't work, but that's the only way that we're going to solve this, by loyalizing our pops in the necessary areas. Can I maybe build up industry in these areas? Is that a sensible solution to this situation? I think it might be. What does our market look like? We sure need more engines. We could use more paper. So let's build some paper mills. Western Thrace, we got productive glassworks and productive textile mills. There's repeaters. Wonderful. Northern Thrace, Turkish minority. Yeah, we'll build up some textile mills and some furniture manufactories. And that'll be just fine. It'll cost us a bunch of cash, but them's the breaks. Alright, how's our naval invasion going? 86. Force comparison, I'm feeling very confident about that. Enemies only got a regular infantry, so that's fine. Probably go after Gaza next. Again, just accruing some subjects overseas to boost my economy. Canada is improving relations. Canada, my friends, I would be delighted to have high relations with you. Public address goes awry, a stall event. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of commercialized agriculture by Lazar Milutinovic has quickly developed into a public relations disaster for the petite bourgeoisie. Fumbling his way through a series of poorly presented talking points, Lazar Milutinovic's arguments have been viciously and convincingly picked apart by his political opponents. The question on everyone's lips now is merely if this mishap was due to the inherent failings of commercialized agriculture or can be chalked down to the political incompetence of the petite bourgeoisie. It's the fault of this poorly thought-out proposal, minus 15% enactment success chance. He must take some of the blame for the setback. Milutinovic must. Minus 10% enactment success chance, reduced popularity, weaker petite bourgeoisie, or scrap the current draft and make show of a rewrite. One setback, plus 10% enactment success chance, increased enactment time, he loses some popularity. I'm actually going to go with the third one. Taking the setback is okay. We're getting up to 44% success chance, and that's pretty good. If we can continue to advance here, where is all this stall chance coming from? It's coming from the liberal movement. That's right. Liberal movement cares about this? They do. How curious. Maybe we fire Ivan Mihailovich. That doesn't seem right. He's Croatian. He's from our country. It wouldn't be right. We can't do it. Can't be done. We actually have advanced past Austria in our in the prestige ranks, which I'm feeling pretty heckin' pleased about. And we are in the process of occupying Zulu, which is nice. The temptation to go after Pozidar Plesnik, Yugoslavian supremacist movement. He's an ethno-nationalist. Interesting. Alright, there's that finished. I'm going to need a little bit more government admin, since I'm short on government admin. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's bring our main fleet back to the country, because I've just remembered that I had a plan once upon a time to take a run at Romania. 33 infantry, But would anyone stop me? Again, Brazil? Spain. Spain is 107 battalions. But of what? Line infantry and mobile artillery. I can take Spain in a fight. Romania? Jeepers. First off, how much prestige have you got? Oh, virtually none. Romania? You're coming with me. Oh, no. The Russians are gonna... The Russians can't. The Russians can't side with Romania. Right? Unable to support Romania due to allied Yugoslavia. Yep. Quick check on Brazil. Just see what kind of army they're packing. Oh, man. Their army is not very good. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I can fight these folks. Alright. Let's be friends. There's our home affairs investment increasing. We'll mobilize our other army as well. Send them to the front. Oh, I don't think any of these countries actually have the ability to step in. So I'm extremely confident now. Belgium damaging relations. It's not because of the flags, guy. No, actually, I don't have the. Oof, I don't know that I have the influence to be actually playing around with all this, because I need to keep my influence up to get my infamy decay. So actually, Belgium, you can be angry with me for now if you like. Total top-down management. The industrialists have taken an interest in commercialized agriculture. Many industry leaders hope to secure the entire supply chain for their companies. Gentlemen, I present to you a model for the future. Izakoviklandia. This diorama, sourced from pieces of this project, aims to capture the whole production chain. Cut out the middleman, as the high street peddlers like to say. We own the farms to feed the workers, the mines to supply our furnaces, and the cotton for our uniforms. One holistic chain, focusing on the sale and distribution of our final product. Questions? Middle managers will be a thing of the past. Industrialists happier, extra enactment success chance. The workers will need additional protections. Trade unions happy, industrialists unhappy, and extra enactment success chance. Or an interesting proposal, we're taking it. Industrialists very unhappy, extra enactment success chance, 25% increased communist movement pop attraction. I'm going to go with middle managers will be a thing of the past. We'll just make the industrialists happy. That'll give them the Engines of Progress bonus and get them close to the Job Creators one. They're quite, their opinion is quite debuffed from all the modifiers. Oh, actually, most of these are timed from back when we were doing Right to Associate, which is interesting. Public is it. Okay, guys, Romania backs down. All right, beautiful. Let's improve relations. We'll offer them knowledge sharing. And they are... Alright, we have a conservative party once again. We're in a new election cycle. Romania has a Hungarian uprising. Can you handle that, Romania? Seems like you can. I'm not worried about it. By the way, it seems like my improving standards of living over in the territories that have Turkish populations has actually largely worked. So I'm feeling pretty jazzed about that. If this happens, then we will simply take over the territory. Got plenty of bureaucracy to play with. Pressing issues. Okay, before we do this, let's take a look at the election. Liberal Party consists of the trade unions and the intelligentsia. The Free Trade Party consists of the petite bourgeoisie, the Conservative Party of the armed forces. The industrialists want to go to the Free Trade Party, and the landowners want to go to the Free Trade Party. Okay, curious. So the liberals are actually going to take it. This is really curious. Pressing issues. The ongoing election. Okay, so what does it look like? Momentum's about equal, so the liberals are going to take it if nothing else changes. The ongoing election has drawn attention to the platforms of the various contending parties. Across Yugoslavia, the electorate debates which party is worth trusting with the next term in government. The first thing I would take into account is the safety of my investments. If a party would represent chaos, I may safely discount it. The stockbroker tapped his cigar in the rim of the ashtray and continued. The journalist took notes as he spoke. How will the incoming government's tariff policy affect my needed imports? Do they wish to impose taxes, which may spur uncertainty? Do they wish to embark upon military adventures? Would these adventures be profitable, or would they be ruinous? There is much to consider. The Liberal Party makes decisive arguments, extra momentum for them. The electorate trusts the Free Trade Party's policy, extra momentum for them, or the Conservative Party's policies have merits, extra momentum for them. I'm going to go with the Liberals. They're already holding a commanding lead, and this has made them even more commanding. 58% of the vote makes them extremely likely to win. The election housed the investment pool. It's not as big as it could be. Sardinia Piedmont withdraws from our treaty. Well, Sardinia Piedmont, how could you? But we're such good friends. I'm going to start improving relations with... Wait, are we rivals still? We're not. We're not. Can I rival Austria? That'll give me some extra influence to play with. There is the electric telegram. Wonderful. The levies. Bozidar Plesnik has made overtures to the rural folk for electoral support to the Conservative Party. Zoran Alexic has at least acknowledged the talks. Appeals for natural allies makes for a gamble on long odds. Receptive ears to natural allies are often already of like mind. Those who aren't of like mind would politely continue on their own way. Impolitely, they might laugh, scoff, or, if truly devious, turn the gambler into their own useful idiot. Old minds think alike, extra momentum for the Conservatives, where the grass tends to grow as it pleases, stronger political strength for aristocrats and farmers, extra momentum for the Conservatives. I'm just going to hand the Conservatives more momentum. Hopefully that won't goof up my... It's barely changed the electoral prospects of any party. Alright, so here's hoping this is good for the Liberals. We're doing okay in terms of construction. How is this movement? They're continuing to go down. Yeah, so as we can see, both improving the Home Affairs Institution and increasing the equipment over here has helped out overall. Let's take a quick look at our market. We need more engines. There's no other way to say it. I think actually I'm going to move steel railway cars to the top of the queue. And then we'll do the other military stuff, because I think it's too important. I think it's too important, and I think we need to, because that's gonna... Oh no, that's not gonna help out our engine industries, is it? Our motor industries, it's not. I just need to build up more motor industries. Well, I don't need to subsidize the motor industries. Fine, let's increase the size of the motor industries. We need more engines, and that's how we do it. The party favorites. The wing of the Liberal Party, affiliated with the intelligentsia, has raised complaints about Koloma Majek's use of endorsements, leaving their supporters neglected. I must levy a concern, now that it has come to my attention. Whilst Koloman Majek's actions are undoubtedly well-intentioned, The recommendations contained thereof seem to exclude certain members of the party who have demonstrated more than sufficient vigor, goodwill, and surety of purpose. Listen to their concerns and appease the intelligentsia. Extra momentum, he becomes 50% more plus 50 in popularity. Or appeasement, don't let me know that it was fully intentional. Weaker intelligentsia, stronger trade unions, 10% momentum instead. I'm going to listen to their concerns because that produces more momentum. There's the Hungarian uprising. And that puts the Liberal Party at 64% of the vote, which is pretty good. Commercialized agriculture is at 55%. Law progressed to drafting. Campaign financing. Parties, particularly the Liberal Party, are struggling to raise enough funds for all their campaigning needs this election. Let's see what you men are charging. Fees, yes, that's to be expected, but what's this lodging charge? That fancy hotel room could house half a village. And there's enough wine billed here to drown a fish. Votes don't come cheap, sir. You do want to win, right? Some money can be spared for the Liberal Party. Costs the government money for 2 years, but 10% more momentum. Every party can be provided with basic funding this election cycle. Costs twice as much money. Opposition interest group approval. Or if a party can't afford a campaign, should it be campaigning? Reduce momentum for the Liberals. I'm going to spend some money increasing the momentum for the Liberals once again. Romania is winning their well, they were planning on winning their battle a minute ago. Their force comparison's rock solid. Romania. Tell me you can win this. If you can't, I'll just take this territory. Embarrassing. Truly embarrassing. Am I in this war? I suppose I am. Fine, I'll help you. Authorial intent. A minor scandal has buzzed around the Liberal Party as a piece of reformist fiction written by Ivan Mikhailovich in his youth has begun to circulate once more. Whilst enthusiastically written, that is the work's only merit. The plague of superstition and dogma was the end of Yugoslavia. If it is so, then why are the trains still running? There's a continuity error in here. How could he have written about Yugoslavia when he was... when this was his youth? There was no Yugoslavia. Devs, fix. Anyway, a plague of superstition and dogma was the end of Yugoslavia? If it is so, then why are the trains still running? How could they possibly have acquired the coal to fuel it? Your propensity to butcher your characters for cheap tragedy is nothing short of shameful. And to make matters worse, why would Victor and ever not pursue Estrid's affections when they've known each other for so long? Have you no eye for redeeming romance? A tragic tale, but there's no reason to harass him. Minus 20% momentum to the Liberal Party. Or this is Ivan Mikhailovich's problem, not the party's. Minus 10% momentum. Ivan Mikhailovich loses 20 popularity. I'm going to go with the second one. I'm happy to give them as much popularity as they need. Alright, I'm spending the money to get this thing done. How's Romania's... Romania is going down in Liberty Desire by a little bit. This is going to be better later, because the bad relations and the infamy are both going to go away as time goes by. I'm happy to have Romania on my side long term. And when the election happens, I guess commercialized agriculture is going to fail. Because I don't think any of the people you have moving into the government like it. Alright. We have an extremely legitimate government under the trade unionists and intelligentsia. Let's do it. We're at 32% success chance, and virtually all of that is from events. So let's go ahead and... Wait a minute. I do kind of want this, so I'm going to keep going with it. There are other changes I can make. but for now, we'll simply go with commercialized agriculture. It's worth it. Intelligentsia are no longer powerful, trade unionists are powerful. Maybe we'll go with universal suffrage. Because I think the trade unionists actually do prefer universal suffrage to census suffrage. I'm wrong? They do. Alright. Now maybe a better thing to pursue medium term. None of you guys are close to dying, right? Yeah, no. You're pretty young. You're even younger. Crush Hungarian secession, that's done. Very good. Let's see how the next round for commercialized agriculture goes. If I can get to voting, maybe I'll keep going with it. If not, we'll be just fine. You're going after Khiva, which is fine. So, Transylvania, you're an anarchist commune? You are. Based. Dissenters break ranks, a stall event. We're going to offer them custodianship over a new draft. Sorry, I should read this. To outside observers, the petite bourgeoisie may appear firmly committed to the idea of commercialized agriculture, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of the reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own desires are left unanswered, and our own concerns are left unanswered, and our own desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard here, we shall be so elsewhere. Splitters, may the devil take them. Weaker petite bourgeoisie, reduce enactment chance. Loosen our purse strings, perhaps we can lure some of them back. Reduce enactment success chance, but not by as much, but big costs for the government. Weakness for the petite bourgeoisie, but not as much. Or offer them custodianship over a new draft. I'm just going to go with the first one. The weaker petite bourgeoisie isn't bad because we're not going to do this. Instead, we're going for universal suffrage, baby. Industrialists are going to be big mad. But them's the breaks. We're going to take some stall chance on this, but I think we can make it. Universal suffrage is going to be really good for us. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a lot of money to build up the necessary bureaucracy to deal with not getting the bonus from the petite bourgeoisie, but I'm hoping we can make that happen without too much struggle. I think 10 levels is going to be more than sufficient. Diplomatic ties with Ainu Uprising. That's fun. Still improving relations with Romania. Getting up there, or getting down there in infamy, which is good. Greece, you absolute dorks. It's the stupid army power projection thing. I guess you can't really have subjects if you're a national militia country. It's okay. Once our infamy is down, their liberty desire will be going down. So I'm not worried about that. Perhaps I'll offer them some knowledge sharing in the meantime. Just gonna give it a couple weeks for my bureaucracy to sort itself out. I shouldn't have bureaucracy penalties right now. At least not too many of them. Oh no, I do. There's some timed modifiers. Translating official documents. That's right. Brutal. But them's the breaks. Alright, I need a little bit more government admin. We're going to build it up in Bulgaria. Or just, I guess, the south of the country more generally. Five levels should be plenty. I'll build 2 more in Macedonia just for the sake of uniformity. That'll give me a nice buffer, and that'll be good. Come on, universal suffrage. So hopefully, this will help me lock in strong trade unions. I've never managed to successfully get the trade unions strong in a country before. So, well, not never, but it's been a while. The current build of the game is very friendly to focusing on the interests of particularly the petite bourgeoisie and the industrialists. So this will be interesting. Man o' War's shortage. They say they'll be more profitable making steamships. Let's see if it's true. We have automotive industries? We have automotive industries. That's incredible. I can't build them up, though, because I don't have the tech. Oh. Also forgot to upgrade my, my rifles, my small arms method. So, enacting universal suffrage, rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Koloman Majek, leader of the trade unions, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of universal suffrage. Making an appearance before the public in Belgrade's main square, Koloman Majek's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Macek's. I think Macek. Embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across Yugoslavia, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment success chance, or performances like this reflect well on Macek and his cause. 10% enactment success chance, 25 popularity, trade unions stronger. I'm going to go with the first one. That's got this up to a nice solid 52%, and that's making me very happy. I got a good barrel of loyalists now. A very solid loyalist to radical ratio. And that makes me feel rock solid. What is ethno-national? Yeah, you just like ethno-state and hate migration. Cool. Am I still on high taxation? I'm not. Still suffering some. I guess the recently conquered thing is a longer-lasting penalty than I was thinking of. I thought it was only 5 years. I had it in my head that it was only 5 years, but I think I may have simply been wrong about that. So obviously this is making our petite bourgeoisie big mad, but you know, I've made the petite bourgeoisie big mad in many a run prior to now, and this is not a new experience for me. I have a small anarchist movement. That's kind of fun. We're up to 15 standard of living, which is very, very nice. Nothing is under construction. My investment pool feels a little bit choked. Do I have a ton of like foreign-owned levels in my businesses in my country? I think I might. Let's take a quick look at the building registry and see. Let's filter for buildings with non-Yugoslavian owners. There's a certain amount of Swedish industry. Oh, this one's owned by Hungary. I don't like having arms industry owned by someone outside the country. Perhaps. Perhaps I shall nationalize. Very good. What else? Coal mines. Let's do located in Yugoslavia. Okay, so these are Swedish. Okay. Okay, so we have a significant amount of, well, not that, ooh, actually. Metals Consortium of Sweden, Cotton plants. I think I'm going to nationalize the ones that are owned by, well, maybe mutual investment in Sweden was not the right call. Some of these are owned by places in Austria, I think. Definitely going to nationalize the Ottoman ones. Let me see. Did I just do these ones? Is this the one that I... yeah. Okay. Don't wish to have Ottoman ownership around here. Let me see. Yeah, these are mostly Brandenburg. Interesting. Yeah, these are mostly... These are a lot of Swedish-owned businesses. I think Austria no longer has the right to invest in my country, which means if I can safely privatize these without causing too much of an issue. Hudson's Bay Company, that's interesting. Yeah, perhaps allowing Sweden to invest in me was the wrong call. I don't care that much about... Ooh, see this? These Austrian owned industries, not good. I'm gonna concern myself more with the light industry than the others. Let me see. We got another one here in Dalmatia. And an Egyptian one. Interesting. Nationalize those. Oh, those are fishing wharves. It's not the fishing wharves, it's the glass works that I'm concerning myself with. We're going to sell these back to the South Slavic peoples. But it's gonna be we gotta get this foreign ownership out of here first. Though. The Western Thrace cyclone. A cyclone has hit the state of Western Thrace from the sea, tearing through homes and people alike. It destroyed our home and wrecked my fishing boat. My family might be safe, but how am I going to feed them? A tragedy, but what can be done? We should put some money into relief. I'm going to put the money into relief. I know it's going to cost us a huge barrel full of cash, but it's got to be done. Alright. Iron mines. Most of these are owned by the Metals Consortium of Sweden. Wow. Not too worried about livestock ranches. But Austria owning part of my logging industry, that's no good. That's no good at all. Obviously, I'm throwing money by way of Austria, but that's okay. They don't currently have investment rights in me, right? We're not sitting on a treaty. We're certainly not. Alright. What is this? An enforced treaty, okay. Just curious. Alright, back to the building registry. Wow. A lot of places where Austria is holding bits of our logging industry. Although I guess that makes sense because those areas were part of Austria for a long time. So, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Alright. That seems pretty okay. Ooh. Got some logging industry we need to nationalize here. How are relations with Britain? They're just fine. Hey, I'm paying. I'm paying here. And let's just take a quick look. Anywhere. This is, yeah, domestically owned. Swedish forestry companies. These ones are owned in Lombardy. Alright. Oh, and British privately owned as well. Nationalize. Britain, let's be better friends. I don't want this to come back to bite me. Need to be a little bit careful. Alright, that's done well. Motor industries. Ooh, some of it in Sweden. That's fine. Munitions plants. How do I only have one munitions plant? How did this happen? I stopped subsidizing them. That's what happened. Curious. Alright. Oil rigs, those are owned. Russian American company. Oop. Privately owned by Austria, can't have that. Privately owned by Egypt and Austria, can't have that. And then Swedish owned, okay. Railways. One of these wound up owned by the Egyptians. Go ahead and buy that out. Regional company headquarters, can't do anything about that. Shipyards. Oh, a bunch of these are privately owned in Austria. Interesting. You're coming with me. Am I getting infamy out of this? No. I should pay slightly closer attention. Silk plants, some of these are owned by Austria. I am causing a certain amount of radicalism, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's costing me bureaucracy, but I am going to privatize these as time goes by. Because I'm defaulting into privatize. Okay, steel industry is going just fine. Synthetic plants, they're fine. Textile mills. Textile industry is mostly okay. Wait. Mantero Seta is an Austrian company, aren't they? They are. Hold on. I wish this were faster. I wish there were a faster way to do this. Maybe there is, and I'm simply not knowledgeable of it, because them's the breaks, but this is really costing our economy a lot. Ooh, law progress to drafting. Wonderful. Very happy to hear that. Beautiful. Tobacco plants. Some of these are owned by Sweden, and that's okay. Some of these are owned by the Ottomans and the Austrians. Hate to see it. Feminists? Me? And then finally, Thessaly. Can't nationalize because these ones are all owned by the Swedish. Alright. That's very good. Tooling workshops. This is going to hurt. I'm going to be very sad if these are heavily... Wow! A lot of my tooling industry is owned by Sweden. That's quite interesting. Trade centers. I'm not too worried about trade centers. Vineyards. I'm not too worried about vineyards, to be completely honest. Wheat farms should be okay. Alright, now, the question I think I need to ask myself now... Ooh, I still got some mines owned by the Ottomans. You don't have investment rights in me, right? You shouldn't. No, no active treaties. So I think now... My stuff is generally set to privatize. I'm going to continue to do that. I think this industry doesn't need to be subsidized. Yep, all my stuff is set to privatize, so this stuff should naturally be sold off to investors who have the ability to invest in it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, there it goes. Whew! I got scared. I got scared. Who are able to invest in it, including ones who are elsewhere. I got somewhere that's using a different production method for my urban centers? Dobruja. Oh, I never normalized production in Dobruja. That's what happened. That's what happened. So what I'm hoping about this is that this will kickstart our investment pool, and it does appear to be increasing the effectiveness of the investment pool. Now, let me just take a quick look at this. Sweden owns an uncomfortable amount of my GDP. Sweden has a decent army. But, are they any good? Let's find out together. It's a pretty healthy mix of battalions that are good and battalions that are not good. That's quite curious. I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, hopefully, nationalizing all of that, Sweden, you're going after the Germans. Oh, they're trying to form Scandinavia. Well, them's the breaks. I'm not going to get involved in that. That doesn't seem like it's my business. Greece is still, well, not for much longer. They'll be going down in infamy soon, or they'll be going down in Liberty Desire soon, because my infamy will be low. And Romania's Liberty Desire is going down just splendidly. Again, do I still not have the ability to I can fund lobbies now, finally. Alright, well that's going to cost us some money, but it's going to be worth it in the long term. House cash flow, spending a decent amount on interest, but not too much. Alright, I apologize for that being kind of a long end of the episode, but I had to nationalize some stuff. I gotta say, this interventionism thing, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Huh. Well, we've had some failed reform efforts in this here run, but it hasn't been too bad, generally speaking. I feel like we've done a good job of building up our empire. I should have improved relations with Zulu. I didn't do that, but their liberty desire is going down at a healthy clip. So I'm going to start doing that before I close out here. It is quite late. We've had a long episode. Well, actually, not that long. We're only a little bit over the usual 2.5-hour mark. Wait a minute. We're actually only at 1895? That can't be right. Did we start at... Hold on. My original... No, 86. Alright, we got another year. We got another year to go. Oh. Absolutely not. Sweden, you think I'm going to fight the Germans? There you go. Get it. Now it's a fight. Both sides are cocky. So now, if I sided with the Germans, you're going to war with Norway as well, communist Norway. What kind of an army do the Brits have? You know, no. I'm gonna... This is not a Serbian affair. This is not a Yugoslav affair. Whew! Slip of the tongue there. And there's steel railway cars, finally. Let's get our railways working. Doing that work. No. I think I'm going to stop subsidizing ports for now, and we'll see what that does to the ports. Oh, right, I can go to publicly traded. Haha. They just think they're going to be unprofitable. They're making it up. Alright, so... So, how's the investment pool? Investment pool is doing all right. They're using about consistently about half the cash flow. Dutch East Indies sides of the Netherlands. That's interesting. Something going on in the Netherlands. I wonder what will become of this. I don't necessarily desire a stronger Sweden. There may come a day when I wish to nationalize my way out of them having investment rights in me, so you know. Well, I guess this isn't... No, because I'm using part of the investment pool working on these munitions plants, which I will not make the mistake of allowing to be subsidized. Oh, right. Maybe it was only just showing the other ones. Never mind, I'm big stoop. Mutually beneficial. Now that we have more publicly traded companies, we should focus on what comes next. I don't see the problem. What's wrong with more money? Are you telling me that if they offered you more, you would say no? It's not about getting more money. It's about who's getting more money. The rich get richer, it would appear. This might affect our politics, stronger industrialists, and trade unions. Or maybe we can use this elsewhere, extra progress for international exchange standards. I'm going to go with it affecting our politics. I like stronger trade unions. Come on, universal... Dang it. I got a hard setback. Gosh, dang it. Salty. I'm a salty cat. Alright, so once we got trench works, let's go ahead and circle back to the tier 3s in production. I want open hearth process. Threshing machines is actually no. The thing that's important here is electrical generation. After that, we'll rush for vulcanization, then snag aniline. That allows us to produce synthetics industry, then open hearth process, then threshing machines. And then we'll reassess and see where we are. Ooh. Wow. Oh, no, wait. I'm like, we can start producing stylish furniture. It's like, no, the company is prosperous. It doesn't mean we haven't made it to the top 3 yet. That's the primary thing that controls whether or not you can do that. Cash flow is doing very good. Oh, right. Yes, government investments and all that. Alright, Greece's liberty desire is now going down at a very healthy amount. They really want an army power projection that's super duper high. And Greece is getting a little bit of liberty desire out of that, but thankfully their army power projection is pretty low, and they're not able to start their own wars right now. Although they're in one. I see. So they're in a war with Egypt that's not going to end anytime soon. So all their units are mobilized, and that's why they're taking liberty desire from that when they normally would not be. Armenia's liberty desire is going down at a very healthy rate. I'm feeling very confident about that. I wonder if I could take over Hungary. Do I not have the ability to force a transfer of Hungary? I might not. They are a personal union. And that might be why. Let's double check. Transfer subject. Yeah, because Hungary is a personal union. Yep, that'll do it. Are there any South Slavic pops in Austria? Oh, there's a few in Styria. But I'm not Croatians are there in Venice? 320. Nothing that justifies conquests on that scale. National population is going up. Literacy rate's going up. I'm actually in the number 4 position on the rankings. This is crazy. I'm ahead of Japan. I'm ahead of Austria. I'm ahead of France. I'm ahead of the United States. Hell yeah. I need to build up more universities. I am not even close to my innovation cap. It's time to support innovation. First, let's make sure I've got at least some levels of universities everywhere. I want to have 2 levels in every state. That's my baseline. That's my baseline feeling of how many universities should be around, and then after that, we'll focus on increasing others. That having been said, we got some events going on over here. The Anti-Ottoman Association has requested that we launch a diplomatic play against the Ottoman Empire. Successfully acting on the proposal will gain our government significant goodwill from the lobby. They're reasonably well appeased, but I would love to have the petite bourgeoisie be happier. And those who would refuse and prefer preserving the status quo, there was no hesitation. His response sounded well rehearsed because it was. This was a proactive man, one who spent hours pacing his chambers and anticipating attacks to come. My reply would be that we should never have allowed them to become so close to us in the first place. A friendship built upon deceit is nothing at all, and the goodwill gained from it illusory. We will look into this, or this is not in our interest. They get mad -5. I'm going to look into it. I could take the fight to the Ottoman Empire. Maybe I'll break off Iraq and then take them as a protectorate. Turkish National Movement organizes in Kosovo. Organizers affiliated with the Turkish National Movement have embarked on a focused campaign to inspire support for multiculturalism in Kosovo. The residents of every region in the world like to say that their home has a long and unique history of tight-knit community. The organizer almost agreed. The problem was, of course, that said community often did not extend to outsiders. He'd been thrown out on his ear more times than he could count, but he persisted nonetheless. If he could introduce the right phrase into the right circles, perhaps even an idea that had been rejected out of hand at first would begin to find purchase. There are plenty of willing ears in Kosovo. Stronger Turkish national movement. Kosovo gets increased universal pop political strength and extra radicals from political movements, or they must be concerned with far more grounded things. Half the secondary modifiers in the Turkish national movement does not get stronger. You know I'm going to pick that second one. That's why those dorks are so mad. They like Austria. Russia? No, they're not a republic. I thought they were doing a republic. They got a totally different flag. What's going on over there? They're doing voting. They're doing voting. They're slowly reforming. Right, I was building universities. Istria is one of our most populous states. Let's build up a large university here. Croatia, same deal. Let's build up a large university here. Let me see, all of our peripheral... Oh, actually, Macedonia doesn't have any levels. Albania needs a railway. There, didn't notice that. That was good. That was very smart of me. I'm such a capable and wise ruler. And then let's build up a few more levels in northern Thrace and a few more levels in Bulgaria as well. I'll keep our tech moving forward. I'm going to throw this railway at the top of the queue. How bad are things in Albania? They're not bad at all. Wild wells. Blowouts, oil fires, and other lethal accidents are becoming more common as the hunt for oil in Albania grows more ruthless. You think you've seen fire, but you have never seen fire like this, he said, giving the young man a stern look. And you better pray you don't, because if you've been out there on the oil fields, if you haven't been out on the oil fields, the only place you'd ever see it is hell itself. Where there's oil, there will be blood. Industrialists happy, trade unionists unhappy, 20% oil industry employee mortality. Or pressure the owners to take a more careful approach. Reduce throughput, trade unionists happy, industrialists unhappy. You know, I'm going to have to go for that second one. I can't take the mortality. The mortality, it's going to kill me. And by kill me, I mean kill my people. Literally, it's going to kill them. The French are mad. But I'm below infamy, and I'm can I improve relations with them? I suppose I can't. I can. There we go. There it is. We're fine. We're fine. I figured it all out. Sweden, you're losing your war. Hey! Advancement. Wonderful. 67% success chance for universal suffrage. Diplomatic ties with Uruguay. Wonderful. Alright. So once we get these universities built... Well, actually, I don't know that that's necessarily gonna cross the line for me. Ooh, Banat and Vojvodina need more universities as well. Banat and Vojvodina. How populous are these areas? They're moderately populous. Banat especially, actually. Maybe we'll build up a level 5 university here. Mining accident. A mine in Bosnia has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Bosnia and the nation. They dug me out, but left my friend behind. That was all the foreman was able to get out of the wretched boy. Sooty rags clung to him like wispy strands of a torn funeral jacket. Whether he held back tears for fear of a beating or to keep strong, the foreman did not know. He was spent for the day. The foreman hoped the manager had a mind for mercy. This is a small price to pay for the march of industry. Stronger and happier industrialists. 5% of lower sternum pops in Bosnia become more radical. This outrageous abuse of the common man cannot stand. 5% of upper stardom pops in Bosnia become more radical, stronger and happier trade unions. Or these mines are a blight upon man and countryside alike. 5% of middle stratum pops become more radical, stronger and happier rural folk. I'm going with this outrageous abuse the common man cannot stand. That makes our trade unions stronger, and that's very good for the country overall. Cash flow is doing well. Investment pool is going up with the government constructing, so I'm feeling pretty pleased with that as an outcome. I got a lot of bureaucracy. I seem to have... I think I took some penalties a while ago, and those lasted a long time. And now I'm kind of overtuned on bureaucracy. But I guess there's no reason I can't simply continue to increase the size of the bureaucratic... increase my bureaucratic capacity. Do I need to increase steel supplies? I don't think I do. My motor industries are just so very insufficient. I'm going to enable some labor-saving methods for my military industries. It's just good sense. It's going to make them more sensible long-term. Ooh, labor-saving methods for motor industries? That does make them more profitable. What about the steel foundries? Ooh, that does as well. Excellent. Let's go ahead and build up a few more levels of... Well, it seems the Austrians are fighting the Russians. Russia is calling on our support as their ally. Absolutely. I would be delighted to join you, Russia. I would be more than happy to side with you in this war. What shall I have as the war goals? They're trying to steal Kiev, Lublin, Volhynia, and to liberate Crimea. Russia is trying to conquer Bukovina, liberate Hungary, and liberate Bohemia. Wow, they're really going for the gold here. It's a shame, because I would love to take Hungary. But I can't do that. I mean, I already nationalized a bunch of businesses. That doesn't seem useful to me. I don't want to conquer a state. You know what? Oh, I can't liberate a country. That's a shame. We'll revoke a claim. We'll revoke a claim. Okay. I'm going to revoke Hungary's claim on Croatia. That just seems sensible. Let's get the lads together. It's going to force the Austrians to break up their situation. Bali sides with Tidor. I'm short on opium, but there we go. That solved itself. Alright, let's put the armies on defense. Our fella is getting old here. So let's add someone new. Ooh, a trade unionist, an innovative defensive strategist. Hell yes. And then what about our other army? This guy is also getting a little old. We will grab this arrogant pillager from the intelligentsia. And we'll bring him up to the 3rd level as well. Shortage of ironclads, fine. That should sort itself out before too long. This'll be alright. Hey, Russia, you gonna get anyone else in on this, or, Oh no, the Austrians went after the Russians. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll be fighting a defensive war then. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. I feel great confidence in my ability to win this thing. Gosh, I would love to continue to build my universities, but I don't think I can afford it. Thems will just have to be the breaks. With that having been said, it is January of 1896, and that means this is the end of the episode. It's been a pretty long episode, but, you know, we've had a lot to do. We had to fight some wars, we had to strengthen our everythings. I'm feeling pretty good overall. Relations with Romania are better, their liberty desire is going down. Relations with Zulu are not better, but their liberty desire is way down. I think before we go, I'm going to drop their autonomy. Reduce their subject payments, same as I always do. Oh, I did a goof, because now Greece is high in liberty desire. But not for long. Their liberty desire is going down, and hopefully that'll stay that way. Plus, our army power projection is going up, and hopefully that line item for army power projection will go away pretty soon as our armies get fully mobilized. That having said, that is absolutely all the time I've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. A great deal of it, in fact. I hope you have as well. and I will see you on the other side.